Hello, and welcome to episode 50... Oh, shit, messed it up. 56.
56.
Cussing in the introduction here this week. Of the DaebakCast. This is a weekly podcast where the three of us come together each week to talk about K-pop and what's current in the industry. This week we got a few album reviews and also a topic. So the lineup for the album reviews will be Red Velvet, Jonghyun, his final album, and Suzy. And then on top of that, we're going to also first talk about a certain company.
Not YG.
No,
That's
it's not the YG rant.
No, it's not YG rant, not yet. Fantagio. And I guess we can get right into it. Nate, I'm joined by you.
You're just a mess today.
I'm just a mess up today. Yeah, whatever. Let's get on with this.
Who dat boy.
Who dat boy?
So we have no new iTunes reviews and no questions. Remember, if you want to ask us questions or give us topic ideas, tweet them at us or comment on YouTube videos, and I will mention them at the beginning of the show in my intro.
Yeah, if you ask any questions or whatever, just to be clear, we'll answer them on the podcast and stuff like that.
They may be a week late, though, than you'd think, because actually now we're not recording on Thursdays after this week, so who knows? We'd be fine, probably. But depending on when you ask it, it might not be answered the next episode. It might be answered the episode after that, because we record early, obviously. So it's all depending on your timing, but it will be answered in the next 2 podcasts at the latest.
Yep. And I'm also joined by Andrew. I'm joined by you.
Yes.
Just to keep it consistent because I messed it up.
Number 1. Shoutouts to, they're not my team, but shoutouts to Cloud9 for being the first North American team to win a Counter-Strike CSGO major. Like, for the longest time, everyone was like NACS LOL or like NA grenade or NA smoker and all that sort of stuff. It's like NA's the worst. And then they beat literally the top team in the world in 3 games in double overtime to take a major in they played it in Boston too, so they played it was on American soil.
Home team, nice.
Yeah, oh my god.
Wait,
it was insane.
Who was the other team?
It was FaZe Clan. FaZe Clan is an American organization, but it's basically FaZe Clan is like all
European
these
players.
It's all European players from who are like gods on their own teams coming together to join as one team. So they were like they were so broken for the longest time. It's crazy. So yeah, I'm super happy that we finally got an NA major winner. Number 2, Royal Rumble was last week from when we filmed this, and it was pretty good. For the first, they had a women's Royal Rumble for the first time, but for the first time, I believe they had both of the winners of the Royal Rumble were Japanese. You had Shinsuke Nakamura, who won the male Royal Rumble, and the female Royal Rumble was won by Asuka. And after that, freaking Ronda Rousey comes out because she's going to be a wrestler now.
So weird.
I mean, she seems happy because she's been a wrestling fan for her whole life, so.
Yeah, it makes sense, I guess. She's got the skills and whatever, but yeah.
Easy paycheck too. They paid out the ass. They probably paid out the ass.
But
for
she's
her.
like such a bad actor.
I know.
Did you see her in Fast and Furious?
Yeah,
she was so bad.
Yeah. And number 3 is I apologize for this stupid mustache. It's coming off in like 4 days or like 3 days. Hopefully
when the Patriots lose.
Hopefully they win. I mean, it's coming off either way, but
no, yeah.
I will hopefully be rid of this because I hate facial hair. And it's so itchy all the time.
Yep. I hate facial hair too. I just hate it so much.
which is why you've been growing out a beard for the past like 3 years.
Well, I mean, not really growing it out, but yeah, I've had a beard for.
How long would it grow if you just stopped like getting?
This is probably the longest it's ever gotten. It's getting pretty long, like. But
don't stop till you get the Duck Dynasty.
No, I'm getting rid of it this weekend. Well, I'm not getting rid of it, but
like don't stop until you can braid your beard hair.
No, I don't like it.
Viking warrior.
It starts to get too unruly and looks bad, so I'm trimming it. Okay.
Well, and I am Jacob. You can see my name below. Normally I'd have a blow note, but I don't know where the book is. I think I left it at home.
That's why I said you just gotta go on the internet at this point.
Yeah.
instead of saying that.
Somebody who's like really actually, you guys could do it. Make like somebody upload every like page of Blow Note and then make a Blow Note randomizer so that we can be prepared every week.
I could probably write. I'm gonna write something like that. I'm gonna write
just find.
It's really easy.
But the annoying part is you literally have to type out every Blow Note quote.
It's fine. I'll copy paste it into a database or something. Whatever. Or maybe I'll make an obscenely long array that does.
I was gonna say you don't even need a database. You just put it in a list, but it'll be long.
Enough computer science that nobody understands. On to the first topic.
Andrew doesn't even understand.
I don't know. I draw shoes.
All right. Anyway,
I draw shoes.
I draw and I write code. All right. Anyways, on to the first topic, which is we're gonna like sort of talk about the whole situation going on recently with Fantagio.
Wiki no
affects their artists.
All right, I guess I'll go through it since I have the articles up. So the article I have up right now is from that was almost a month ago already, but the story first broke. So yeah, Billboard.com reports Astro and Wikimiki's label Fantagio Corp faces strike after CEO's firing. So the gist of it is like Fantagio has their majority stakeholder in Fantagio is this company called JC Group, who is they're some type of like private investing company based out of China, and I think they own something, I said like 53% of Fantagio. So the basic story of it is that they during their end of the year meeting, I guess is wherever they like discuss financials and everything, they fired the current CEO Nabyung.
Well, they didn't fire him,
or like they just did dismiss.
They demoted him or whatever, because they didn't kick him out of the company, but he left.
He left of his own accord, but basically they pushed him out of the CEO job.
Yeah.
At first they were co-CEOs.
So they have co-CEOs. There's a Chinese CEO and a Korean CEO.
Yeah. God, I forget.
And they're like, screw you, Korean CEO. Chinese CEO will be the only CEO.
Yeah, so basically so stupid. It's a Chinese.
It's a hostile. It's literally
a hostile takeover where they kicked out. This guy basically he started Fantagio like 10 years ago, and he's been he got rooted out of his own company, which is crazy. Yeah. So it's sort of begun to affect. It affected Wikimiki's comeback schedule. They were supposed to have to come back, I believe, in January. Or like this.
They're supposed to be the end of January, so it would have happened by now.
But it's according to something that broke at least today.
Yeah, today they announced late February. Right?
Yeah, it should be coming soon, but everything's just been in flux. It was to the point where all the employees, some of the stuff I read was. Basically, the higher ups suspended their their credit card expense cards. So a lot of like the employees that would take care. Fantagio is a huge company. They have an entire division dedicated to like acting. And,
Fantagio is mainly an acting.
Yeah,
company.
mainly an acting company. Like
they just had
music is just a tiny
until Astro. They only had Ella Venus.
Yeah.
Yep. And then they started Astro and Wikimiki, but they're like 90% actors.
So basically all the people that are just taking care of all of their artists and their employees had to pay out of their own pocket because they're like for like food and like all these sort of expenses because the company like they said they were suspending it because of the excessive spending and all that sort of nonsense or whatever. So it's a giant mess. The employees were threatening a strike. I don't know if they ever technically went through with it because they were loyal to the original CEO, who has been with the company since it first started. So having this Chinese CEO that literally has no ties whatsoever to the music industry or to Korean the film industry or like any ties to Korea is just suddenly like judge, jury, and executioner when it comes to anything Fantagio. So it's definitely a contentious and worrisome time for Fantagio.
Yeah, definitely. I wonder how this is going to affect like the comeback schedules going forward, though, because I feel like the only reason they might have said something was because people are like, "What's going to happen with Wikimiki's comeback?"
Well,
like the CEO leaving is a huge impact on like the whole company as a whole, obviously, but also like the morale of the employees who might have been loyal to him, the way that the restructuring might work with as far as production goes, like a whole bunch of stuff.
And you don't really know what the direction of the company is, considering that they literally have no roots, or they have no ties to the music industry or like the film or TV industry in Korea at all. So, you know, like, how do you have like zero confidence in any of their decisions. Like, literally, that's all they care about. Some private equity firm or whatever. They like literally all they care about is just like the bottom line of whatever they're making. And then from what I heard, the reason why they sort of pushed out the CEO is because Fantagio's has like some financial struggles, or like they're not making ends meet to some degree. So, and it's understandable, because even though they're pretty popular with between like Hello Venus, Astro, Wikimiki, and Ong Sung Woo. It's and even like with like the actors that they have under their repertoire, it's not like they're that big of a company. So yeah, I'm sure it's pretty close at the end of the year, I'm sure, when it comes to their financials. But which is why I'm guessing they sought outside investing from a third part, or like from the Chinese company in the first place.
Oh yeah, no, that they said that that was the whole reason, is they weren't doing well financially, so they looked out for third party investors, and this company bought in and then slowly bought more and more shares until they got the majority shareholder and did a hostile takeover. I mean, it happens all the time, but
what does JC Group even do? Are they like
they're just an investment?
Yeah, it's basically their investment. Basically, they just have a shit ton of money.
They just do this.
Yeah, it's like venture capital over in Silicon Valley. Yeah. Like, it's just a bunch of rich people that'll invest in companies and like slowly, I guess, or somehow expect their money back, or just slowly start to take over it if it's not meeting their expectations. So, yeah, I mean, I think the big thing about this, it's especially with Asian culture, it's just the fact, like. I know I could probably speak for like just like every like Japan, Korea, Philippines, or China, that sort of thing. Everyone's very much, and even America, everyone's very prideful of a company either being like their products being made in like Korea or being owned by Koreans or whatever. Like, it's to the degree that they'll like, just like how in America, like, it's like, oh, if made in USA, you'd want to buy it more. Just like same thing in Korea. It's like, oh, it's owned by a Korean company. You want to, it's that nationalism sort of thing where you want to support like Korean business and that sort of thing. So for a Chinese company to take over like something Fantagio, it's almost it's insulting in a way, almost to them, because it's not owned by a Korean company anymore. So they're listening to people who like are foreigners essentially.
Another thing is, apparently the guy who became CEO of Fantagio is actually the chairman of JC Group. So he's actually like a high up person.
Yeah. So he's it's weird because it's basically the financial company basically took over.
Yeah, that's so stupid. Like things like this are usually pretty bad for companies. Like, usually you do not want the financial people to be at the top of the top. You want them to usually be in like CFO positions, not CEO.
Yeah,
because for example, I'll put it in the context of GM, for example. Like, they in the like after like from like the late 80s until the bailout, they were basically led by as I understand it, by like accountants and money people, business people. And then after that, and their quality was just awful. And then once they got to like after the bailout, under my understanding at least, they became under leadership of more like an engineering focused thing, and the quality went up because they actually know what goes on within the actual design process of the product.
Yeah,
like, I think in the context of music here, I think it's really important that the CEO should be somebody who's actually involved with the music and also the acting in the case of Fantagio.
Yeah, I think that probably goes with any sort of creative industry, because if you have somebody that doesn't like understand acting or like television or music, calling the shots, they're really going to care about is like, okay, how much money will we make if we release this sort of thing, or if we sign our like actors to do this sort of thing. So yeah, they're really not going to the end product is going to suffer because it's all about like what makes the money at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that could be applied to basically any industry. Like, I think the only place that the business, actual, financial, those type of people, like if they're a finance person, they should only be in charge of the company if that's a finance company. I think the founder should typically be the one, or somebody who's heavily involved in the process should be the one that's actually leading the company. That's my opinion on it, at least. I think the actual content they serve up flourishes in the end.
Yeah, I don't think this will actually affect the short term at all. I don't think they're gonna change any plans. Like Astro's tour will be fine. Like Wiki's gonna have its comeback. It's just how and I don't even think it'll affect the long term in terms of them just changing what Fantagio is. It's just questionable what the quality will be.
Yeah, I think as long as they let them run as business as usual, I'd be fine with it. It's really good to see, obviously. Exactly. But if they do start changing things or whatever, it's definitely not going to be good.
Yeah, I don't think they will, because I mean the whole point of them doing this is they want to make money,
right? And
I think they're gonna sure they're gonna change some stuff because Fantagio wasn't doing well, but I don't think if anything they might start pushing Wiki more, and it might be helpful for all we know, or in terms of our world.
I definitely hope so.
But it's just, is that quality going to suffer? Because they're going to cheap out on music. And, sure, they might push Wiki more, but they might give them crap songs, and then it doesn't actually work. Do they, it all depends on how much they actually, influence the day-to-day.
Right. I think my only concern is just the fact that they are not an entertainment company. For example, with EXID, they're now owned by Banana Culture. That's an actual entertainment company that bought their Korean company out. Yeah. So it didn't really suffer all that much. So
if anything, I guess we'll have to
but I mean, Luna is under a warmongering company, so
that's true.
That doesn't mean anything.
But another thing another concern I'd have is that when it comes to Ong Sung-woo and Wanna is that I'm kind of scared that they
might pull out.
No, not necessarily pull out. It's that
there's no way they pull out because it would probably cost $1 billion.
No, I mean, there's definitely some type of contract.
That contract would be
Well, what I'm afraid of is that they see how popular Wanna is, and I guess the weird thing is when with these contracts is that obviously because the whole premise of Produce is that okay, we're not doing anything with these trainees. If they get successful, you get most of the cut because you sort of exposed them or whatever, or got them popular and everything. Is that they're saying, okay, Ong is so popular, so why are we only making so and so much money from him? Or they might threaten to okay, we want a bigger share of the one-on-one sales.
I don't think they would, because I mean there's no way they have no
bargaining
control over that contract. That contract's signed and done.
Or not just that,
they can't do anything about it.
Not just that, is that once he's done, is that I'm afraid that they might rush Ong into
solo debut.
Yeah, into either a solo debut, or they might hastily assemble a group around them just so we need to, because he's gonna be huge. He's gonna be all of the one-on-one guys are gonna be huge once they go into their solo groups. So that's another worry to have, definitely, that they might just hastily assemble a group just to start making money off of Ong.
That's not guaranteed, because I mean most of the IOI branches aren't actually doing that great, so you have no idea. It really depends on how the group does. Honestly, their best bet would just be add him to Astro, but because then Astro's already growing in popularity.
I'd be fine with that.
And I think you would fit with them very well. Mm-hmm. But who knows? You still got a year for that happens, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks, but I don't think it's the end of the world. No. Hostile takeovers happen, and companies just go on with their business. Who's at the top or who's controlling the top doesn't always actually matter that much.
Yeah. I think the main effect will just be the morale of the employees.
That's the only thing I'm worried about. Yeah,
because that's the thing. like it's not necessarily a racism thing, but like they're probably not gonna want to work with a China the head of your company is Chinese and he's trying to tell you all the shots and he's like literally come out of nowhere. They're probably not gonna want to work.
No,
with
yeah, like that's definitely like the biggest thing that'll probably happen.
I mean, there's a cultural difference. So, like, if he's telling them stuff that doesn't seem reasonable to a Korean person,
yeah,
but it'd be perfectly reasonable in a Chinese environment, like
yeah, because they run businesses completely different in all of these different countries, so it's not going to be the same.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't.
Yep.
Yeah, as long as it does not affect the music, which is ultimately like.
Yeah, what matters, right? And also the whatever dramas their actors get to be in.
Yo, so I'm on.
Like
I have it to the Fantagio wiki page right now. They have a YouTuber under. They have the World of Dave under their contract or whatever. It's this like. I don't know.
I've heard of him.
He's like a white dude or whatever, but his whole
is he the white dude that makes Korean videos?
Yeah, that's his whole thing. I'm just like, why is he under Fantagio of all companies?
I think I've seen him.
Yeah,
that's weird.
That was an interesting little tidbit.
All right. Well, that was just sort of a quick topic addressing the situation, and I guess if anything major comes about it, we'll probably talk about it again. So, yeah. It seemed like you wanted to say something, Andrew. So that's why I was waiting.
Because basically, Victoria's trapped in China, and Crystal's in the dungeon because she happened to be blood related to Jessica Jung. So I would not be. I would be okay if it like there was just a duo with Luna and Amber. I would be okay if that was FX.
Yeah, if they. Well, I don't want that to be FX, but I wouldn't mind if they created like an album or something.
Yeah, like subgroup.